Now to number 7, we have Rocky 5. So now it's time to talk about the movie you've probably been gritting your teeth about since I started this video. The redheaded stepchild of the Rockyverse, Rocky 5. I understand that this movie is universally hated. Hell, even Sly himself has gone on record to say that he hates it.
Okay, give me your score out of 10 for each of your Rocky movies.
Okay.
Rocky 5.
0.
No, was it that bad, Rocky 5?
Yeah, it was bad.
I don't remember being quite as bad as that.
No, it's just, it was goose egg. I was definitely not there.
But I'm here to say, not only is Rocky 5 a solid movie, solid with a capital S, it's also, in my opinion, one of the most interesting movies in the franchise. The opening with Rocky shuddering in the Russian locker room due to taking heavy hits to the head immediately after his fight with Drago is a really effective scene. As a kid, I thought this was one of the scariest things I had ever seen in a Rocky movie. As soon as Rocky returns home, we are introduced to his son, Robert, who has aged significantly since the last time we saw him. Yeah, I don't really have any comeback to this criticism. It is what it is. I thought Sage Stallone was pretty good in this, though. Rocky soon learns that Paulie has lost her fortune by giving a crooked accountant power of attorney.
Gave power of attorney to our accountant.
I need alcohol. Rocky, on my eyes, I never stole a freaking dime.
And Rocky and fam are pulled from their lifestyle of the rich and famous and are back to living in the dregs of Philadelphia. On top of that, Rocky is diagnosed with brain damage and has to retire from boxing, as another blow to the head could kill him. It's kind of a downer, and I believe that is a main reason that fans don't like this installment. But you can tell it was a conscious choice made by Sly and director John Avildsen, director of the original Rocky as well, to get nostalgic and bring Rocky back to his roots. Rocky soon meets Tommy Gunn, and at first reluctantly agrees to be his protege, a partnership that results in a string of KO victories for Gunn and a chance at redemption for Rocky. Tommy Gunn. Okay, can we talk about Tommy Gunn for a second? Okay, first of all, I don't believe he gets the respect he deserves as a Rocky antagonist. To an extent, I get it. Up until this point, each of Rocky's opponents has been an iconic cinematic character. But I'll say this, at some point the trend of Rocky just fighting a bigger, badder fighter than he did in the previous installment, I mean, it just had to stop. Let's look at the men he's had to face in the ring. So first we had out-of-shape Apollo. Then we had in-shape over-the-hill Apollo. Then we had Clubber freaking Lang. And then Ivan fucking Drago. I mean, if they continued on this trajectory, Rocky would have had to have fought Gamera for the championship in this film. Not saying I wouldn't have watched it, though. The genius behind the character of Tommy Gunn is his untapped potential. We don't know how good he is, or how good he can be, because he's so raw. He's also supposed to represent what might have happened to Rocky if he hadn't had Mickey guiding his career and his life. Not to mention, the actor who played him, Tommy Morrison, could have arguably killed every other antagonist in the franchise with his bare hands. The guy was a legit heavyweight champion with wins against Hall of Famers such as George Foreman. That being said, the true antagonist of Rocky V isn't Tommy at all, it's George Washington Duke, an unscrupulous boxing promoter. The guy is essentially Don King with even less morals.
I know what the problem is. You think I was born yesterday, Merlin. Show him the paper. Now, this is your medical report. It's not so good, but we can work around it. Only in America.
And if you know anything about Don King, you know that's really saying something. Duke is a character that isn't so much out to beat Balboa, but to corrupt his soul. Much like the newly popular Terry Silver, you might have heard of him in the extremely popular Cobra Kai series. Well, I was introduced to him in Karate Kid 3. And in that movie, Mike Barnes was the Brawn, as Terry couldn't physically assault a teenager, but Terry was the Palpatine of the movie, orchestrating the events to get Daniel to fight in Yall Valley. And a clear parallel to that character, Duke is relentless in his pursuit of a big payday with Balboa, despite Rocky's diagnosis of potentially fatal brain damage. Seeing Burgess Meredith return to the franchise, albeit by way of flashback, is just as heartwarming as seeing Santa in a department store during Christmas time.
Well, if you wasn't here, I probably wouldn't be alive today. When I leave you, you'll not only know how to fight, you'll be able to take care of yourself outside the ring, too. Is that okay?
It's okay.
A highlight of the entire franchise for me is when Rocky is incensed about Tommy striking Paulie. Just look at his face. We've never seen Rocky this terrifying before. My ring's outside?
Now, you knocked him down. Why don't you try knocking me down now? My ring's outside.
Goosebumps every time. Whenever someone thinks about this movie, they think about the street fight, and rightfully so. I think some people get put out that this final confrontation doesn't happen in the ring, not really realizing that had Rocky agreed to fight Tommy in the ring, he would have let Duke win. It's pretty brutal, the violence magnified by the fact that supposedly due to his brain damage, Rocky could die at any point during the fight. I don't know, for my money, the street fight is an excellently choreographed and brutal scene that highlights the gritty Philadelphia streets. Another feather in Gunn's cap though, this is a street fight. Gunn has Rocky on his back for several seconds before the ghost of Mickey returns to give him CPR.
Get up, you son of a bitch! Mickey loves you.
It's a fantastic scene that makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck each time. But my point is, had this happened in the ring, that most likely would have been a TKO for Gunn. I can feel you shaking your head in disbelief at this movie's placement in my rankings, and I get it, but I am an unapologetic lover of this movie. I love the themes of Rocky living vicariously through Tommy since he himself can't fight anymore, and that as Rocky gets blinded by his return to glory through Tommy, he doesn't realize that he's losing his family. And finally, I love the lesson that it teaches, that any wrongdoing you do as a parent can be rectified by punching a guy up against a bus. It just plain works for me, damn it.